It caught on in a flash.
They played the mash.
They played the monster mash.
I'm Luke Summerhays.
I'm James J. Miles.
I'm Andrew Rice.
And I'm James Stewart, otherwise known as Jaster.
And you're listening to Monster Mash.
And this week we're hunting the Great Maccao.
Leader of the pack
Kangaroo.
hunting Maccao, the great Maccao is easily spotted by its large size and feather-like yellow crest. It can balance on its tail and spring forward for a deadly strike. But when weakened, its lesser Maccao cousins are quick to turn tail and run.
A bunch of cowards.
The one thing I noticed when I was reading that first time is that we were arguing whether the little dinosaurs are related to the big ones, and it literally says it right there.
Yeah.
They are just younger ones of the same animal.
Well, they are called macaws anyway, so it's kind of.
Yeah, but I was always wondering if is it like a cat and a jaguar, or is it like a jaguar and a jaguar kitten?
Do cats and jaguars often hang out?
Yeah. Travelling packs. We've seen them.
Well, it's like I got very confused as a child because in The Lost World there's a baby T-Rex, and then I watched the original Jurassic Park and it has the raptors, and I thought they were baby T-Rexes.
Did it ever lead you to believe that, or is that just...
No, I was literally just being thick because I was a child.
Yeah, you're just like, there's a big dinosaur, there's a small one, that's the small version of the big one.
But no, Monster Hunter, the small ones are small versions of the big one.
Yeah, they typically are, yeah. We should have really realised that.
I mean, I sort of assumed that, but then I was always led to wonder. Because it's not really a text-heavy game unless you're looking for it.
Well, before Ultimate can be, I suppose. It's a bit more
A
storytelling.
little more. But yeah, the Great Maccao. He's a big green, yellow, and red feathery dinosaur.
It likes to jump around and jump around.
It's about like a kangaroo.
Mm-hmm. Sits up on his tail, telegraphs his attacks. Like any idiot could dodge that.
Thanks for that. Nice dig there, yeah.
And then just the ridiculous sort of scooting on his bum towards you, kicking his feet attack.
Also
What's
throws
who
fists claws as well.
who is it who does that in Mortal Kombat? Is that Johnny Cage?
What?
Yeah, and no, is it Johnny Cage?
No, it's the Bruce Lee ripoff.
Liu Kang.
Liu
Kang.
Kang.
Yeah,
Yeah, he just sort of hovers in the air and floats towards you, kicking.
Makes that
Yes.
noise.
Yeah, that's basically the Great Maccao.
Great Maccao is Liu Kang. There we are. End the
Yeah.
cast.
I mean,
Is that the goal for each one to determine which
Which fighting game character?
Well, I read as well, I checked some stuff about the Great Maccao, and like I've seen like translations of the name,
Mhm.
and the name Maccao is from, well, the Japanese name for Maccao is based off mat and cow in Thai, which means fist and knee,
okay.
and a lot of they based a lot of Great Maccao's attacks off Muay Thai, like fighting and things like that.
I suppose actually.
Which I can definitely see, like, after
Yeah, he is
when
like
I
a
read
martial
that,
arts dinosaur.
after fighting him, I was like, I can totally see that in his moveset.
Actually, yeah, because I don't know if you're into Street Fighter at all, but there's a character called Adon who's a Muay Thai fighter, and now that I think about it, he's basically the Great Maccao.
Hmm.
Well, there's not any like little Adons falling about on the screen, which would be hilarious.
He's got a
Yeah.
tail and everything that he balances on.
You can smash it and he loses balance as well.
I mean, really, when you think about it, the Great Maccao's, like, his weakness is that you're hitting him right in his groin.
I don't think a tail works as
No, but, like,
genitalia.
he brings himself up on his tail, and he's basically pointing his nads right at you, so you swing at him there. Like,
No,
of course
you
it's
do
going to
it.
throw him off balance.
No, you hit him in the head. You need to break that crest.
Well, yeah, it depends on which head you're talking
If he's a
about.
dinosaur though, like, and he's based off like real dinosaurs, and dinosaurs are like birds, then birds don't have normal genitalia, do they?
Yeah, I'm not sure how it is with reptiles, but I think even if they do, they can keep it internal.
That didn't take
So
much
he's probably
to
doing that when he's on
genitalia.
so
It's just making a
keeping
dick
it covered
joke,
when he's
mate.
on- yeah.
That's
Fine, I'll save more for the Kezu episode.
5 minutes in, there's the
Low
first
hanging
dick joke of
fruit.
the episode. Good. I do like that its tail is basically like a cat's whiskers, that it gives it balance, and if you smash the little like prongs in the tail, it'll just fall over.
Hmm.
That's right though. If a cat didn't have its whiskers, it like fall over.
Yeah,
I think it's a
they do use them for...
It's head stacking thing.
That's weird. That's like the myth that dogs can't look up.
Well,
I don't even
like,
think that was a real myth until
Until
Shaun of the
like
Dead.
Shaun of the Dead, yeah. Still.
No, I think cats' whiskers are useful for balance, but I don't think it's like if you shave them off, they're suddenly drunk.
I
They
don't
just-
really want to do it right now, you know,
Too many
but
people would like want to test that theory. Like, yeah, I'll get to the bottom of this bullshit. Like, snip.
Well, no,
Get the
is
scissors.
the myth about like not getting their head stuck in things? Like, because if their whiskers touch the side of it, then like they won't put their head in it, but they will do if like it doesn't. So
That could
I'm
be.
sure that's.
I've seen cats.
But I've certainly never heard of it for balance.
I've definitely heard it, but I've no idea if it any grain of truth to it at all. So back to the Grey Maccao. I remember when the demo came out, it was literally just like he's basically a green Jaggy. Why haven't they just used the Jaggy? But after fighting him for a while, he does have quite a few cool tricks up his sleeve.
He's quite a tough first monster. I felt like but Monster Hunter Generations is my first Monster Hunter game, and I'll be honest,
Yeah, I definitely didn't spend as much time as him I did on previous first monsters.
He's definitely stronger. Like, out of all the other ones that are like basic kind of dinosaurs, he definitely is the strongest one. I would say. I mean, the Great Baggy.
You reckon stronger than an Eopre?
He just means of the first dinosaurs you fight.
Yeah, I know, but I'm comparing it to all the other dinosaurs as well.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'd say he's the strongest. Like he's damn like that tail attack when he pounces himself forward, like does the most damage out of any other kind
He
of.
does do a lot more damage, but I think the Iodrome puts up a bit more of a
I
fight.
think
I'd say
his
so.
attacks do a lot of damage, but he takes a long time to build them up, and they're pretty dodgeable.
Yeah, he telegraphs them, but
yeah, I think it's the telegraph attacks that makes them a bit easier than the Iodrome.
I think because they've
like,
known, because Generations is basically a best of Monster Hunter game, they wanted a start monster that wasn't like too easy, and I agree with you that it's a tough starting monster.
He's quite annoying because obviously Generations is a best of Monster Hunter game, which is why it's a good list of monsters for us to do for this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But it means that we're starting with a monster that's only just come out.
nothing wrong with that.
Oh no, it's not the end of the world. It's just amusing.
But yeah, like in terms of like me getting used to him, and he did. I don't think I've ever lost a fight to him, but he definitely came close just because I was still getting used to dodging and positioning and spamming aerial style like the chump I am, and like just having to. Like the one move he does where he hops up on his tail, but he doesn't lunge forward; he just kind of kicks in place. I think that one's his most annoying move.
I found him like quite hard to do, like fight him with aerial style, like because I generally I'd jump off him and then miss my jumping attack afterwards.
It's a case of a lot of
he's
the
a-
I
smaller
wasn't
drones.
used to aerial style at the beginning.
He can be quite a small target at times, so he's not the best one to aerial style. I think he's a pretty perfect first monster because he does look like quite a cool dinosaur, so he gets you into the game, and then he teaches you how to watch a monster because he's so over exaggerated in his animations and his telegraphing.
Yeah.
So it sort of teaches you how the game's going to work. And then also, once you do start winning against him, he's pretty goofy.
Oh yeah,
It's just a nice.
You can go down really quickly if you know what you're doing against him.
Yeah,
when you go back to him after like so many like say like 30-40 hours in, you're like, how the hell did I faint against this monster in the first place?
I'm not sure about that. I think that you can still definitely fight against
I
him.
think you
Nah.
can still definitely faint
Only if
against
you've got
him.
no armor on. Like some people.
Even then, when you fight him against no armor, he's a piece of piss. Only a real chump is fighting against him. I like the kind of the yellow crest on him as well. I like the fact that he's identified as the leader for that. I would have liked maybe if you had broken
Champion's
it, like
crest.
yeah, the Guardian's crest. That's right.
Champion.
I hadn't really
Sorry.
paid enough attention to notice this, but according to the notes, he doesn't command the smaller monsters like a Great Jaggy does. So he can call them, but once they get there, they just do what they want. They won't actually like follow him at all.
I wasn't aware that the Great Jaggy commanded, to be honest.
I
Yeah,
mean,
when he does the call, like when Great Jaggy like does like a little roar that calls on the little Jaggies and they generally attack at the same time.
Velocidrome does the same as well, and they can kind of swarm you. Just jump on.
I tend not to pay too much attention to little monsters because
Yeah,
I think later on,
big
that's
monsters.
pretty ignorable.
like early game. You have to be kind of careful though, because they can overwhelm.
Yeah, a little more so, yeah.
Which I suppose is one thing he doesn't have over the other like drones is that the little monsters will bail once he's getting his arse kicked, so you can just run in and get the kill. Whereas with the other drones, you might run the risk of getting your arse handed to you by the little monsters as well as the big dude.
So, as well as being a dinosaur and a kangaroo and a Muay Thai fighter, he also appears to be based off the Archaeopteryx, which I thought was a commonly known dinosaur, but actually I just taught you three.
I was never really into dinosaurs, so no, bit of a. I know the
I
Pokemon.
was pretty into dinosaurs as a kid, but like, no, I've not heard of that particular one.
It was a big deal, and I can't remember, I don't think it was discovered in my lifetime, but a lot of my dinosaur books when I was a kid were well old, so he seemed like a new one. But it was like, it's the one that first glance looks like a bird, and then it looks like a dinosaur, and it's the fossil that sort of got people talking about maybe the dinosaurs evolved into birds.
Hmm.
And I just discovered today that there's a whole conspiracy about how people think the original fossils were faked.
Of course, because where there's anything, there's a conspiracy.
Well, it's because I thought it'd be funny to join all the dinosaurs don't exist Facebook groups.
And now you're just depressed because you really wish they did.
So isn't the Triceratops like made up entirely?
What?
Yeah, it's not a real dinosaur. It's based off like other people that pieced like parts together and apparently got all like.
There's a whole load of them that
Parts
got
of it wrong,
confusing. Like the Brontosaurus, which doesn't exist anymore, because they realised it was just the same
It
bones.
doesn't exist anymore because dinosaurs are extinct, right?
No, because the fossil that they found was just another dinosaur's fossil, misidentified, so they thought it was a new species.
That's disappointing.
Yeah.
We're all putting Earth to test us anyway.
Oh yeah, let's test our faith.
Mm-hmm.
They're all demons.
He's a goofy looking dinosaur from the pictures I'm looking at, though.
Oh yeah, the screenshot I've taken to use as the cover art is he looks fucking ridiculous. With his big face as he gets hit.
Oh, you talk about the Great Maccao, or the?
Yeah, which one are you talking about?
I was talking about the actual Archaeopteryx.
Oh yeah, well I mean it's because he's sort of bird, sort of dinosaur. The amusing thing is that the way they've made you think of him with the Great Maccao is with the colours. And I'm pretty
Yeah, the
sure
green and red.
I'm pretty sure all the colours on dinosaurs are just completely just pulled out of someone's ass. Because I mean, how would we know what colour he is?
Kind of red, threatening face, and then like the green.
Science.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool dinosaur to start you off with.
Seems like he's more of a kind of nuisance in the world as well. Like he just rumbles up and starts winding up like the research teams. He's not really
Yeah, all the
world
quests you
threat.
get, all the quests you get are just we were trying to do this, and there's a Great Maccao being a pain.
It's not a threat to the actual ecosystem. He's not going to like level a city. He's just there.
No.
And a bit of a pain.
Well, that's why he's fairly easy. He's fairly goofy because he is just this is just some people probably see a Great Maccao out when they're out for a walk and just think, oh look, there's a Great Maccao, and it's only if they're trying to do something he's a pain.
Just see them while they're out for a walk.
Well, if you lived in like the Monster Hunter world, you know, you'd be out in the woods and you'd see a Great Maccao prowling around. Think, I'm not going to bother it. It's not
I
going to bother
don't think
me.
you do. No, I don't think I don't think they're that common.
Just
Oh,
pop
they
to
turn
the
up all the
shops.
bloody time.
Get the shops for a pint of milk, and he's just there, being annoying.
I mean, if we're talking about like the Shagaru Magala, he's not going to turn up every time you go for a
By
walk.
that logic, every time you go for a walk, a bloody Devil Joe's going to pop up.
Well, no, not quite, because
That's
they're
actually
nomadic
true. That's
loners.
actually true, though. He will turn up.
But listen, Andrew, you don't live in the countryside, so let me tell you. I cannot go 5
when
minutes
Luke goes
without
to the
seeing a
shop
bear.
for a loaf of bread, like fucking lions jump out and maul him all the time.
No, it's just Brexiters.
More vicious.
The irony is that the lions want themselves to go back to Africa.
Oh dear.
That's sad.
So,
Yeah, I mean, like, all the kind of quest descriptions as well kind of refer to him as being a Muay Thai fighter. Like they say, like you ever taken a high jump kick or you ever been hit by a punch from him. So they seem to kind of be phrasing him as a martial artist as well.
yeah, and there's 3 quests that build up from each other where it is like a training martial artist who's getting you to help. Where he's...
I never really got that though until it was pointed out to me.
Yeah, there are 3 quests which are given to you by the Eastern Strongman. And it's like, I'm training and these monsters keep bothering me. And then the final one is like, I've gotten so good at my training that the monsters won't come near me. Can you capture one?
There we are.
So I guess if you get good enough, then you can fight one hand to hand.
And one day you might be able to beat one without fainting.
Some of us will.
That's where Monster Hunter needs like a Cestus weapon, so you can literally punch the monsters to death.
That is something I think we all dream of.
Monster Hunter 5, mate. Believe.
Get to punch
I wonder if
punch
5
it.
will have like some new weapons in it.
It's got,
sure,
it's got
that's
A new numbered one, they always introduce a couple new weapons, don't they?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Mate, if it's on the NX and you have the two split controllers with accelerometers, you could do like
You should like
Wii
use
Sports
motion-based,
boxing punching and like
motion-based sets.
punch out the dinosaur.
It's Monster Hunter VR coming up, isn't it?
Oh, fuck off.
I would love that.
What would you do in that instance? Would you actually genuinely buy a VR headset for that then?
No, I don't think I would. I don't think I'd be asked enough.
That'd be terrifying, though.
It would be an
You'll-
awful game.
It would be horrendous to play because
Okay, they're going to be terrible.
I can't imagine a first-person Monster Hunter and it'd be an awful third-person. But yeah, so
Getting swallowed by a Zamtrios and just seeing its juicy innards in glorious VR.
Because they're really good at animating it. So
Listen, when we get to talking about a certain big woolly mammoth, we'll have a big chat about his innards.
yeah, any final thoughts on the Great Maccao?
Nah, he's a piece of piss once you know him, but a good good starting monster I feel for Generations.
Like I
Yeah,
said, he probably has the best starting monster. It's got a nice kind of medium ground like challenge too.
he introduces you to the game really well, I think.
Not that I particularly know what the other starting monsters are for the rest of the series, but I guess we'll come to that.
Yes.
If you enjoyed this riveting episode of the Monster Mash, then make sure you tune in next week. There'll be no worries for the rest of your days as we'll be covering the Buildrome. Follow us on the Twitter.
At Monster Match Pod.
Tweet AndyMan949 all your abuse. Tell him how shit he is at hunting monsters. And thanks for listening. Laters, Gators.
Oh, watch out for that big giant kick he does.
can't do wrestling jokes, guys.
This is your reward. Every time you faint in a quest, we'll be dropping a wrestling in joke you won't get.
Did you not realise Monster Mash was a wrestling podcast?
Big Shogun John Cena time.
Of course, my dog's being a pest.
Right, mate, our audience loves that.
I think I've said this to you before, but I think he's barking because like he initially barks, then he hears the echo of his bark, so he just keeps going.
It's not a duck, though.
Mate, you should say that for podcast. That's podcast gold. I can stand in front of that again.
You mean the massively telegraphed attack that he does?